Uh, this video is made for single row functions, mathematical functions. I already have a table here, for this experiment you need to have an attribute which is in floating point or integer point format. So this is my table and this is the CGPA which is in point format. So you can perform various operations on this. I have this attribute of CGPA. You may have attribute of price or cost or age or rating, anything which has to be in point format. You just need to add an attribute to it and give values to it so that you can perform this experiment. Let's say select I want to have absolute value of this along with the name of the student from. So it will show like this the absolute value which has been rounded off to a single digit. Now let's say I want uh, I want to round it off to the next higher integer. So I'll use the function ceil. So the CGP, as you can see, has been rounded off to the next higher integer. Similarly, I can even round it off to the lower integer by the function floor. It is rounded off to the next earlier integer. I can even have mod function. So it will divide the CGPA by 2 and the remainder will be displayed here. Then I can even have power, wherein the CGPA will be raised to 2 to the power of 2, and correspondingly the square of the CGPA will be shown as the output. Similarly, we can also have square root of CGPA at the function sqrt. Will give me the square root of the CGPA. Next, we can also find out the sign of any number by the function sign. Now, since all the CGPA are positive numbers, here I've got is all plus ones. If there would have been a negative number, here it would have been minus 1 in sign. Next, we can round off the CGPA numbers up to whatever precision we want. Let's say I want up to precision of to decimal points. So yeah, to 2 decimal points, the precision of CGPA will come. We can also concatenate two strings, that is join two strings. Now let's say for example I want to join name and department. So I can have select concat, the name of the function is concat. Then I want to concat two strings, that is name and let me just check, department is full. Okay, so department from students. So the two strings will be joined together, will be concatenated together, right? Then I can also have init cap, any one string. Okay, so this function is not working for this version of the SQL. So we can try another thing. We can find out the length of the strings. Yeah, so these are the length of the strings of the string name. You can also pad the strings. Let's say I want to pad the strings in the left direction, so I'll use L pad. Let's say, okay, I want to pad the string name up to 7 characters and I want to pad it with asterisk. In single inverted quotes will come the character with which you want to pad. You can also pad it with zeros. As you can see, total length will be 7 and the remaining, the shortfall of the string out of 7 will be padded with asterisk, so that the length of all the names is same, that is 7. Similarly, you can pad this in the right direction as well using the function rpad. So now the padding is done on the right hand side. Next, you can also trim the string in any direction. Let's say r trim, the name of the string and the character which you want looking for. Let's say S. Okay. This function will work if you have spaces before a string or after a string. While entering, you have uh, inserted spaces. Only then the function rtrim and ltrim will work. It is to remove or trim out those spaces. Next is you can replace a given character in the string. Let's say you want to replace all the characters in the string from S, you want to replace it to, let's say, D. Where I've given a condition as well, where the enrollment ID is this. So instead of Shah, that S has been replaced by D. Now the next one is for substring, wherein you are looking for a particular subpart of a string. So substring, the attribute under which you are looking for the substring, Where should the search start from? So if I'm writing here 1, that means the search should start from the first character. And what is the length of the string? Let's say I want up to 3 characters, from first character to third character. This is what I'm looking for. And let's say for all of them, not for a particular entry. So as you can see, it will only display the first 3 characters of the attribute name. This one indicates that it has to start from the first character, and the next parameter is about the length of the string, hence it is showing first 3 characters of all the names. You can apply the function lower, which will display all the names in lowercase, or you can also use the function upper to display all the names in uppercase. Now for concatenating, I have one more version of concat wherein I have added one more attribute to my table. Earlier it was just name. Now I added one more attribute to it by the last name. According to the first normal form, all your attributes should be in atomic form. So my table is fulfilling that criteria. But what if I want to get the full name of the students? So for that I can have select. I can concat two strings, name, then a space, then last name. I can name them as, name that attribute. I can rename the attribute of the concatenated as full name from the relation students. Okay, so here my mistake was that the space has to be in single inverted quotes. So now we can see I can now find out the full name of the students by concatenating name as well as last name separated by a space. I can even have find the relationship between the department and the name. You can also display it like this, and if not as full name, then let's say I do not want to rename it. So okay, so here my spelling of the department is wrong. So this is the way it will be displayed. Shah belongs to electronics, Soumya belongs to EXTC, and so on and so forth. You can also get the current system date and time. Many of the functions are not working on this version of SQL. So I'll just show you this one. Select now will give me the current system date and time.